Welcome back to BNB Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the intense drama unfolding on The Bold and the Beautiful, with shocking developments that will leave fans on the edge of their seats. Current relationship dynamics. Ridge Forrester remains steadfast in his commitment to Taylor Hayes, despite Brooke Logan's heartfelt attempts to rekindle their romance. During their encounter at Forrester Creations, Brooke expressed profound longing for what they once shared, her eyes reflecting years of complicated history between them. Ridge, however, maintained his resolve with unexpected firmness. Their relationship has weathered countless storms over decades, as many longtime viewers know. The push and pull between Brooke and Ridge has defined much of the show's emotional landscape, with Taylor often positioned as the more stable alternative. Though Ridge appears committed to Taylor now, the show hints at possible future developments, suggesting this love triangle is far from resolved. The emotional weight of Brooke's disappointment was palpable in their scene, with subtle gestures and unspoken words carrying as much significance as their dialogue. Ridge's decision represents not just a romantic choice but a philosophical one about the kind of life and relationship he envisions for himself at this stage. Family concerns and parental challenges. Finn has unexpectedly found himself in a delicate position with young Kelly Spencer, who had been eagerly anticipating quality time with her father. The situation requires tremendous emotional intelligence as he must now explain Liam's absence in terms appropriate for a child without causing unnecessary distress. Kelly's innocent excitement about seeing her daddy transforms into a poignant moment as Finn carefully chooses his words. He likely emphasizes Liam's strength and the skilled medical team helping him, creating a narrative that balances honesty with hope. The scene highlights the ripple effects of medical emergencies on the youngest family members. Children often sense more than adults realize, and Kelly's questions will reflect her intuitive understanding that something serious has happened. Finn's medical background gives him unique insight into explaining illness to children, though nothing in his training prepared him for this personal connection to the patient. The co-parenting dynamics between Steffi, Liam, and Finn add layers of complexity to an already tense situation, with boundaries and responsibilities shifting in response to the crisis. Medical crisis unfolds. The severity of Liam Spencer's condition has become alarmingly clear as medical professionals race against time to save his life. After collapsing outside the Spencer mansion with a head wound, Liam was rushed to the hospital where his condition rapidly deteriorated to the point of flatlining, leaving Steffi Forrester in a state of absolute terror. Dr. Grace Buckingham delivered the grave diagnosis of an intracranial hemorrhage, bleeding within the skull that places dangerous pressure on the brain. This condition can rapidly become life-threatening without immediate intervention, as evidenced by Liam's cardiac arrest. The medical team's frantic efforts to resuscitate him highlight the precarious nature of his condition. Following stabilization, Liam faces the prospect of emergency surgery to relieve pressure and repair the source of bleeding. The neurosurgical procedure carries significant risks, including potential cognitive impairment, motor function loss, or even death. The waiting period before and during surgery creates an excruciating emotional limbo for those who care about him. Emotional aftermath and guilt. Bill Spencer's absence during his son's medical emergency will trigger profound guilt when he learns what transpired moments after he departed. The timing creates a particularly cruel twist of fate. Had he remained just minutes longer, he might have been able to immediately help his son or at least accompany him to the hospital. This development adds another layer to Bill's complex character, a man whose business acumen hasn't always translated to emotional availability for his family. The crisis may force him to reevaluate his priorities and presence in his son's lives, potentially catalyzing character growth that fans have long anticipated. Steffi's emotional journey through this ordeal reveals both her resilience and vulnerability. As she moves between hospital rooms and waiting areas, delivering devastating updates to family members, her composure occasionally cracks to reveal the raw fear underneath. Her love for Liam, despite their complicated history and current relationships, remains evident in her desperate concern. Broader implications. The medical emergency creates ripple effects throughout the show's canvas, potentially shifting alliances and relationships in unexpected ways. Finn's dual role as doctor and stepfather places him in a uniquely challenging position, balancing professional detachment with personal investment in the situation. The crisis may also serve as a catalyst for reconciliation between estranged characters or alternatively deepen existing conflicts. Life-threatening situations often clarify priorities and expose the true nature of relationships, sometimes with surprising results. For viewers, Liam's medical crisis represents a significant plot development that could alter the trajectory of multiple storylines. The show has historically used medical emergencies as pivotal moments that reshape character dynamics and future narrative directions. What lies ahead? As the drama continues to unfold, viewers can anticipate emotional hospital vigils, tense surgical waiting rooms, and potentially life-altering decisions. The coming episodes will likely explore not just Liam's physical recovery but the psychological impact of the trauma on him and those around him. Kelly's relationship with her father may take on new dimensions depending on Liam's recovery process and any potential changes to his capabilities or personality. The experience could strengthen family bonds or expose existing fractures under the pressure of crisis. Meanwhile, the Brookridge-Taylor triangle continues its eternal dance in the background, with this medical emergency potentially shifting perspectives on what truly matters in life and love. The contrast between life-threatening drama and romantic entanglements provides the rich emotional texture that has made The Bold and the Beautiful a daytime staple for decades. Next, we will learn about the latest developments in the world of The Bold and the Beautiful, where family drama and intense confrontations have taken center stage. The aftermath of a shocking confrontation. In a stunning turn of events, the normally composed Liam found himself in a precarious medical situation following a heated exchange with his father, Bill Spencer. The altercation, which left viewers on the edge of their seats, showcased the raw talent of actors Scott Clifton and Don Diamont, who breathed life into this emotionally charged scene. The Spencer legacy unravels. Bill Spencer, known for his ruthless business acumen, demonstrated that his sharp tongue could be just as cutting in personal matters. In a moment of unbridled frustration, he unleashed a tirade that cut to the core of Liam's insecurities, bringing up past relationships and questioning his son's life choices. Liam's emotional turmoil. The younger Spencer, already grappling with the complexities of his love life, found himself cornered by his father's words. The intensity of the moment was palpable, as Liam's face contorted with a mix of anger, hurt, and disbelief. This confrontation not only highlighted the strained father-son relationship but also served as a catalyst for potential character development for Liam. Industry recognition and fan reactions. The powerful performance did not go unnoticed by industry peers. Sean Cannon, a veteran of the soap opera world, took to social media to commend his colleagues. His praise underscored the exceptional quality of the scene, which many viewers believe could be worthy of daytime Emmy consideration. Social media buzz. Fans flooded social media platforms with their reactions, dissecting every nuance of the confrontation. The consensus was clear: Clifton and Diamont had delivered a tour de force performance that would be remembered for seasons to come. The ripple effect. The fallout from this father-son clash is expected to reverberate through the lives of other characters on the show. Speculation is rife about how this will affect Liam's relationships, particularly with Hope and Steffi, two women who have been central to his storyline for years. Hope and Brooke's parallel drama. Interestingly, while the Spencer men were at loggerheads, another family feud was brewing. Hope and Brooke Logan found themselves embroiled in their own emotional battle, adding another layer of complexity to the show's intricate web of relationships. Looking ahead, potential storylines. As The Bold and the Beautiful continues to captivate its audience, several questions loom large. Will this confrontation lead to a long-term estrangement between Bill and Liam? How might Liam's medical situation impact his future decisions and relationships? Could this be the beginning of a redemption arc for Bill, or will it push him further into antagonistic territory? The art of soap opera storytelling. The recent episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful serve as a masterclass in soap opera storytelling. By interweaving personal conflicts with larger family dynamics, the show continues to engage viewers and keep them coming back for more. Balancing act. The writers have skillfully balanced high-stakes drama with moments of quiet introspection, allowing characters to evolve in believable ways while still delivering the shock value that fans crave. Conclusion: a new chapter unfolds. As we digest the implications of these recent events, it's clear that The Bold and the Beautiful is entering a new phase of storytelling. With performances that push the boundaries of daytime television, the show reaffirms its position as a leader in the genre. The coming weeks promise to be a roller coaster of emotions as characters grapple with the consequences of their actions. Will forgiveness be possible, or have some bridges been burned beyond repair? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: viewers will be tuning in eagerly to find out. Next, we will learn about the issue brewing between the Spencer and Forrester families that has escalated to dangerous levels, leaving one character in a life-threatening situation while relationships hang in the balance. A heartfelt plea for reconciliation. The elegant walls of Forrester Creations witnessed yet another emotional confrontation as Brooke Logan made her entrance into Ridge's office, her azure eyes reflecting both hope and trepidation. The atmosphere was thick with unresolved tension as she expressed gratitude for maintaining her position at the company alongside Carter. Ridge's use of his affectionate nickname Logan didn't go unnoticed, sending a flutter of nostalgia through Brooke's heart, reminding her of better days when their love seemed unshakable. With maternal protectiveness coloring her every word, Brooke advocated passionately for her daughter Hope's return to the Forrester fold. "She's devastated and feels everyone's betrayed her, including me," she confessed, her voice breaking slightly as she laid bare the family fractures that had developed. The pain of seeing her daughter ostracized weighed heavily on her shoulders, prompting her to question Ridge's capacity for compassion. Ridge's response revealed the complex web of loyalties that defined the Forrester dynasty. While acknowledging his affection for Hope, he couldn't overlook her attempt to claim what he considered Steffi's birthright. "It is personal," he explained, his tone firm yet tinged with regret. "She tried to take her company away." The fundamental disagreement about Hope's actions created an impasse that neither seemed able to bridge. As their conversation drew to its poignant conclusion, Brooke's vulnerability shone through her carefully maintained facade. "I miss you so much," she admitted, her question hanging in the air like delicate crystal. "Don't you miss me?" The unspoken history between them, decades of passion, betrayal, and reconciliation, seemed to echo in the silence that followed. Memories of a heated confrontation. Alone in her sanctuary at home, Brooke's fingers moved across her phone screen as she sent a voice memo to Katie, expressing appreciation for delaying the hope for the future release, a small mercy in the storm of recent events. Her mind, however, couldn't escape the haunting replay of her explosive confrontation with Hope. The heated exchange of words, the tears, the accusations, all replayed in vivid detail, each memory a fresh wound on her maternal heart. The argument had been unprecedented in its intensity, with Hope's sense of betrayal colliding with Brooke's attempts at mediation. Words had been exchanged that perhaps could never be taken back, fracturing the usually unbreakable bond between mother and daughter. Brooke's loyalty was being tested as never before, torn between her daughter and the man she'd never stopped loving. This flashback served as a painful reminder of how quickly family dynamics could unravel, how words spoken in anger could create chasms that seemed impossible to cross. The Logan Forrester feud had claimed many casualties over the years, but this latest chapter threatened to destroy the very foundation of Brooke's world. A father's promise of unconditional love. Meanwhile, at the Cliff House perched above the magnificent Pacific Ocean, Dr. John Finn Finnegan's voice echoed through the modern, airy rooms as he called out to his stepdaughter. "Kelly! Get ready, your father will be here in about an hour." The devoted stepfather checked his watch, noting that Liam's arrival was imminent for his scheduled time with Kelly. With furrowed brow, Finn glanced at his phone, puzzled by Steffi's lack of response to his reminder text about Liam's visit. This uncharacteristic silence from his usually prompt wife planted the first seed of concern in his mind, though he quickly dismissed it as she was likely caught in a meeting at Forrester Creations. Kelly bounded into the room, her youthful exuberance lighting up the space as she expressed her excitement about the climbing gym adventure planned with her father. "Getting to spend time with Mommy and Daddy is my favorite," she declared, her innocent statement revealing the complex emotional landscape children of divorce must navigate. Finn's response demonstrated his remarkable emotional intelligence and commitment to co-parenting. Kneeling to meet her at eye level, he assured her, "They love you, and nothing will ever change that." His words carried the weight of a promise, that despite the adult complications and conflicts, Kelly would always be surrounded by love and stability. This tender moment between stepfather and stepdaughter highlighted Finn's exceptional character, his ability to support Kelly's relationship with Liam despite the complicated history between the adults involved. It stood in stark contrast to the conflict unfolding elsewhere, a reminder that amidst the drama, the well-being of the children remained paramount. A terrifying discovery. The tranquility of the afternoon was shattered when Steffi Forrester arrived at Bill Spencer's lavish cliffside mansion, only to be confronted with a horrifying sight. There on the doorstep lay Liam Spencer, motionless, vulnerable, with blood pooling beneath his head. The shock of seeing her ex-husband in such a state tore a primal scream from her throat. "Liam? Oh my God!" With trembling hands that betrayed her usual composure, Steffi frantically dialed 911, her voice cracking as she begged the dispatcher to send help immediately. The seconds stretched into agonizing eternities as she was instructed not to move him until professional help arrived, a precaution that left her feeling helpless as she knelt beside him, whispering desperate pleas for him to open his eyes. The blood contrasted starkly against the pale stone of the doorstep, each drop a crimson reminder of how quickly life could hang in the balance. Steffi's mind raced with questions. What had happened? Where was Bill? How long had Liam been lying there? The absence of answers only intensified her panic as she maintained her vigil, counting each of Liam's shallow breaths while sirens wailed in the distance. This moment of crisis stripped away all the corporate rivalries and romantic complications, revealing the enduring connection between Steffi and Liam. A bond forged through years of love, heartbreak, and co-parenting that transcended their failed marriage. Despite everything, he remained an essential part of her life, and the thought of losing him was unbearable. A second injury compounds the danger. Prior to Steffi's arrival, Liam had briefly regained consciousness inside Bill's mansion, the world spinning around him as he struggled to orient himself. With determination born of desperation, he had pulled himself upright using a nearby chair for support, his legs unsteady beneath him as he fought against the disorienting effects of his injury. His fingers explored the back of his head, coming away sticky with blood, a discovery that sent a jolt of alarm through his foggy mind. Despite his compromised state, Liam's instinct for self-preservation drove him toward the door, each step a monumental effort as he navigated the expansive living room that suddenly seemed endless. By some miracle of will, he managed to reach the door and stumble outside, perhaps hoping to find help or escape whatever threat had caused his initial injury. But fate dealt him a cruel hand as his weakened body betrayed him once more. His legs buckled beneath him, sending him crashing down onto the unforgiving stone doorstep, where his head made devastating contact with the hard surface. This second impact, compounding the damage from the first, rendered him completely unconscious, a silent figure lying prone at the entrance to his father's home, vulnerable to the elements and the passage of time. The double trauma significantly increased the danger to his brain, turning what might have been a concerning injury into a potentially life-threatening situation. The confrontation that started it all. Hours earlier, within the opulent confines of Bill Spencer's mansion, a father-son confrontation had escalated beyond verbal sparring into physical danger. Liam had arrived with righteous indignation fueling his words, confronting his father about his inexplicable decision to help free Luna from prison, a woman Liam considered dangerous and undeserving of Bill's protection. The conversation had quickly deteriorated as Bill, never one to accept criticism gracefully, especially in his own home, reminded his son of all he had provided him throughout his life. The luxurious surroundings seemed to amplify Bill's words as he listed the privileges and opportunities he had bestowed upon Liam, his voice rising with each enumerated advantage. But it was Bill's cutting remark about Liam's romantic history, his waffling ways between two of the most remarkable women in the world, that struck the deepest nerve. This brutal assessment of Liam's indecisiveness in love hit with such force that it seemed to physically affect him, the emotional blow somehow translating into physical distress severe enough to require medical attention.